Hello everybody and welcome back to another damp autumnal day in the woodland. At the moment it's not raining, or at least I don't think it's raining. We have had a little bit of rain overnight and into the early hours of this morning, and the night before that we also had quite a bit of rain as well. So I wanted to use this time to get out and make the most of the conditions, because when you have a bit of rain like this, particularly in the woodland, what tends to happen is the water remains clinging to the bark of the trees, so you end up with some very interesting dark and mysterious colours in the tree bark itself because of the wetness of the trees. And I really wanted to try and make the most of that while I'm out, but also I want to try something a little bit experimental as well while I'm here, something that I've never tried myself before, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if quite a few other photographers have already tried this. I'm going to try and use neutral density filters instead of a polarising filter to see what difference that makes, if any, and if it's worth using that in the future. But for now, I'm going to go and find my first composition. Okay, so just a few seconds later and it is clearly raining. I can hear it and I can feel it, so I'm kind of glad that I'm in this woodland getting a little bit of shelter, because I don't currently have a waterproof on, as you can see, so I don't want to end up getting absolutely soaking wet. But thankfully I've just stopped here under the shelter of a tree right behind me. Check this out, this one here. This looks quite interesting, so I might stop here and take a composition of this. But just across the path as well, there's another tree just over there which looks very interesting. So I think from this side of the path I'm going to capture a shot of that tree and then cross over to the other side of the path to get a picture of this one in front of me. I hope you like these photos. So I hope you enjoyed those images. They were both shot in portrait orientation, purely and simply because, as we know, quite often the trees are going to be taller than they are wide, so shooting in a portrait orientation seems to fill the frame much better than trying to shoot in landscape. But I think I've just spotted another composition here before I go anywhere else. I've literally walked about 30 yards, maybe a little bit more than that, and there's another tree just behind me. I don't know whether this one's going to be any good or not, because I've got this big branch that's fallen from somewhere and landed in front of the tree. That might obscure the composition slightly, but maybe I can work with it. So I might stop here and get another shot as well. But those first two shots, they were both shot with a 2-stop neutral density filter, a full ND filter, not a graduated one. And the idea there is that I want to try and see if they bring out more contrast and highlight details and shadow details, so that you get a slightly better image that kind of pops a little bit more than another image might do. I'm hoping that's the case. Looking at the back of the camera, there's a little bit more pop in the images, but that may just be because we've got wet trees and wet ground. So I'll carry on and see if I can get a few more shots. This tree here looks as though it's going to be the next shot, and then I'll move on. I love these wet woodland walks in the autumn, even if it does mean quite a heavy shower of rain every 5 minutes, which is what we've been getting while I've been doing this vlog. Luckily though, I am in a woodland obviously, so I've got some sort of shelter from the worst of the rain. I don't really know exactly where I am either. I know which park I'm in obviously, but I've walked down a path that I didn't realise existed once again, so it looks as though I'm coming out to somewhere that I might know, but I'm not totally certain. So I'm just going to try and get my bearings and then look for another shot. Good news folks, I have worked out exactly where I am. That's only taken me a couple of minutes as well. So now I know where I am, I'm going to keep walking and see if I can find another shot. But I just want to talk to you about that last shot first of all. Once again, it was a portrait orientation because again the tree was obviously taller than it was wide. I managed to get myself a decent composition. However, there was another tree just on the very right hand side of that image which has slightly encroached into the image, and I think in post-production I may just about be able to clone that out and get rid of it. I hope I can. I don't really want to crop too much into the image because it completely alters my composition and it won't be the image that I wanted to take. So I think the best bet really is to just crop it out, clone it out and get rid of it so that I don't lose too much of the image. But right now I'm moving on to see if I can find my next image of the day. So I'll see you then. I love this little spot here in the woodland, because in the summer you get quite a lot of sunlight that actually comes through the top of the tree canopy and really brightens this place up in quite a few spots. But in the autumn like this, what you also get is virtual complete darkness. I know you can see some light on the camera, but walking through it's virtually completely dark as you come down this banking here. But also just on that banking you've got all these tree roots. As the trees climb up the side of the banking, you've got all these tree roots that give you kind of a step going up that banking, so it makes it easier as you're cutting through to actually walk up there and not fall over. There's obviously quite a lot of those tree roots there at the moment, and they look absolutely fantastic in this light and with a little bit of dampness on them. So I'm going to stop here and take a photograph of this. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get all of the trees in the frame or if I'm just going to go for the root system itself, but I might even shoot both of those and make sure I've got both images because I don't know which one I'm going to prefer. So I hope you like these images as well. Those last two shots, they were both in using a two-stop neutral density filter. One of them was shot in portrait orientation, and I've gone kind of long with the trees here on one side of the image and the path running up along the other side of the image. And those tree roots look quite good in that image. But I've had to focus that because there's quite a bit of depth obviously between the front and back of the image, and I wanted to make sure that everything was in focus there, so that's been a focus stack. But also then the other image was shot with a landscape orientation, which was a slightly wider shot, and it takes in more of the scene from around here and all the way up to the edge of this tree here, and because of that I decided I wasn't too fussed about the focus all the way from front to back. I was more interested in the root system just in the very middle of the image. So I've decided to focus on that, and I've shot an exposure bracket with that one because there's quite a lot of light coming through the trees up here, and that's adding quite a large dynamic range to the image. I think I'm going to make those the last two images of the day for a few reasons. First of all, I need to find a loo, and secondly, this is most important really, I've noticed that my battery's nearly running out, so I want to make sure I finish off this vlog before I lose the battery, otherwise that'll be no good to anyone, will it? So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and hopefully the images I've taken will have a little bit more contrast and shadow detail in them because I've been using a neutral density filter instead of cracking open the polarising filter that I would normally use in this situation. If you've done that yourself in the past, please let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.